Hey guys, welcome back to Azir School. Some small changes just came out for Azir and for some of his key items, so I want to go over that and let you all know that Initiation Azir is still the most reliable build coming into Season 7. Let's get into it. First off, let's take a look at the changes. Azir's W cooldown was reduced, and that's pretty much all that matters, and even then, not that much. But it does, however, make his low CDR game much stronger, and during the early stages of our Initiation build, it's going to make us a lot more reliable, so +1 buffs to Initiation Azir in a big way. Next up is Rylai's. It's getting changed, and this will affect my build in a positive way. Earlier stats, earlier power, earlier slows. Reducing the slow to 20% means it's there to synergize with Leanderies, which I'll talk about later, and it's going to be a valuable pickup earlier into the game to give us a nice smooth stat curve into Redemption, and then into our late game items. Again, this is a big buff for our power curve on Initiation Azir. Alright, with that out of the way, it's time to back up and start the full guide. Here are your runes and masteries for the build. Standard runes with CDR scaling blues to help us along since we aren't getting a Nashor's or a Morello's early. You can choose either of these mastery setups, whichever you're more comfortable with works. Thunder Wards gives some more early lane phase power back, and Colossus if you're the team's sole tank and really want to be unkillable when you initiate. The rest is pretty standard, so let's move on to the build itself. Starting off, we have Berserker's Greaves. They scale well with your runes and masteries, making your mid-game more powerful along with your scaling up your items like Rylai's and Leanderies, by far the best choice in terms of boots. Next we have Rod of Ages. This is our core item here. It's unreplaceable really. It gives us everything we need. We get mana to help with clearing waves and poking throughout the game, HP for more tankiness and survivability, and a really nice chunk of AP to keep up our damage. Reminder that in terms of AP, Rod of Ages outscales Nashor's Tooth at half of its full stacks, and outscales Rylai's AP at a stack before that. After Roa, due to the changes to Rylai's, it's a great pickup here before Redemption. It's only 2600 gold now, so it's easy to pick up and it'll give us a nice bit of AP and HP to keep ourselves scaling fluently throughout the mid-game. Though the slow is nerfed by 50%, Rylai's still serves as a viable scaling option along with granting an AoE peeling tool for post-engage fighting. For Azir, it's an amazing tool to initiate and then peel for your carries from range. More on that later. After Rylai's is our shining star, Redemption. Beautiful item in every way, passive to increase the strength of its active and our E-shields, and an active that can't be beat by any other item in the game right now. CDR, HP, and mana and health regen quickly and efficiently for only 2100 gold. There's literally no better item in the game right now, so we're abusing it while we can. Redemption is the perfect item for scaling our tankiness into the late game. With such a low cost and such good stats, it's a perfect power curve whether you're ahead or behind, and it will put you over a power spike and make you much stronger than other champions in the game at this time. You'll decide your 5th item based on how the game is going. If you need tankiness, consider a Randuin's against AD, or a Spirit Visage against AP. If you're feeling comfortable but you still want some resists, you can pick between Zanya's and Abyssal Scepter. If you're okay on resist for now and want an extra damage boost, Leanderies will set you over the edge and you'll start becoming a mid to late game monster like always. This is my personal favorite. After you finish up with choosing your 5th item, you can slot the items I already listed in at your 6th item, however you choose from game to game. As you see, we're hitting 35% CDR, a great amount for Azir, up to 4100 HP, which is a crazy amount, and even at least 315 AP, which is actually quite a bit for a tank-based build. All this for only 14,400 gold. Compare this to other standard builds of the past, like in r/Azir main's Nashor's Slave type of build. Even with the Rylai's reduction, it surpasses by almost 2,000 gold, sitting at a whopping 16,250 gold cost. Now for some real game examples. As I've stated before over and over, this build is meant for initiations. It acts sort of like a Zac, but with better pick potential and more versatility. I like to compare it to a hybrid Malphite and Lee Sin initiation. Take a look here as I engage on these 3 members of the enemy team. It's hard to see coming because of the angle and their current focus. I drift in and engage on all 3, pushing them toward my team, out of position, and under the tower. As I pause here, take a look at this massive shield I have, covering about a third of my HP. Even if the enemy team could get over the wall to kill me, there's no way they'd be able to. Also important to note as I pause again, look at the damage I've done here. This is far more than other initiators would do. I was in no way fed this game. I think I had a negative score to be honest, and yet I'm half healthing the enemy ADC in support with just an initiation combo. I haven't even auto attacked them yet. And this game I didn't even build Leanderies. Saying this build does no damage is patently false and an ignorant statement at least. Sure, you aren't shredding tanks like full damage Azir, but this build is in my opinion 100% more reliable and optimal than full damage. One more example, here's me 1v1ing a Lee Sin in his own jungle. Lee Sin is a notoriously strong bruiser in the meta right now. Azir is a better version of Lee Sin from the mid lane. I outduel him when we're the same level, he can't even break my Colossus shield. Practice your initiations and you'll be able to pilot this build just fine in the late game. Apart from that, I'm sure a lot of you are wondering how to traverse the early to mid game with a build so low in damage. Well, I've already squashed the low damage myth, but hey, Azir is known for a weak mid game at the moment, right? Well, not quite. Not with this build at least. As I mentioned before, this build has a beautiful mid-game curve with Rylai's and Redemption, constantly scaling alongside Rod of Ages. Not only that, but the utility a good Azir can grant his team will easily push you through any mid-game fights. Alright, that's it for my Initiation Azir build full guide for patch 6.24. I know a lot of you have been asking for full gameplays. They're a bit hard for me to record right now since my new PC hasn't come in yet, but if I can get 450 likes, I'll try my best to put one out for you all. If any of you want to discuss this build further than a few YouTube comments or contact me in any way for coaching, advice, or just to talk, there's a link to my Discord in the description below, and it's 100% the best way to get in contact with me. I'm there pretty much 24/7. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Stay salty, Reddit.